Welcome back. This video will explain a number of ways that you can view the HearForm Pro scheduler. HearForm Pro offers a number of ways that you can view your scheduler. Right now you're looking at the week view. And again, within the week view, we can provide filtering as you've seen in another system. So I can show just my 3-month clean-in checks or my counseling or whatever else I'd like. Now I happen to be showing just appointments for Virginia. I could also show appointments for Duncan or Elizabeth. If I show all columns, it's going to look a little bit crowded. So we generally want to use week view when we're looking at an individual clinician like Virginia here. We can also view the week view as a list. Now again, if I show all columns, it will get a bit crowded here. So let's go back to Virginia for just a minute, and list view kind of elongates as much as necessary the information contained within that appointment, and it starts at the earliest appointment, 8 o'clock, and then it goes on all the way through the end of the day. If I show all columns in the week list view, you'll see that there are 4 8 o'clock appointments on Monday the 5th, and that represents all 4 individuals. So I can scroll up and down with the wheel on my mouse or using the scroll bar on the far left. Let's go back to Virginia and look at a couple other options. Month view, as you've seen in another video, will show me only as much information as I can fit on that particular screen. Now I have this window looking a little bit squished because of my monitor. I have a very large 30-inch monitor, but I can't show that for the videos that I'm making. But I'm just temporarily going to maximize this outside of your view just to show you something. It takes a minute to rebuild. You can't see the whole screen, but notice that we now have more appointments fitting in the same spot. So I'm going to bring it back, and as you can see now, we only have 4 that actually fit. In month view, when you do it this way, it's going to say that I have 8 more appointments that are available on that particular day. However, if I want to see more information, I'm going to go over to settings here in month view, and I can turn on something called fluid months. So let's take a look at that. It takes a moment, but then the fluid months expands each day within the month, so it does not all fit on one screen, but I can scroll up and down and see quite a bit more information for that whole month. So use your judgment as to which system works best. I'm going to go back to the non-fluid month view. Let's take a quick look again at the schedule here. Actually, I should have gone to the list. And I can turn a compressed view on or off. Let's try that. Again, you're going to experiment and see what it is that you like. But notice that the compressed view in the week view gives just a single line, whereas if I turn that off, then it kind of elongates enough to show 3 lines here, 2 lines for that individual appointment. So just a different way of looking at that. We can also do something called horizon view. This is kind of an unusual view, but you might find it helpful. I'm going to scroll down and just show you how this expands out through the week. And if you'd like, you can move the timeline back in this direction. It takes a minute to redraw the screen, or way out here for 8 weeks. And as I scroll up and down, you'll be able to see that a little bit more squished together. So again, you can try the horizon view if there's any value there. Again, as I've said many times, my favorite is the clinician schedule view. Now this is just one individual for one day, but I can also show all columns and then choose 4 clinicians, or let's choose 3 clinicians over 3 days. And it's going to make it a little bit squished, but this might have some value. I could have sent 2 clinicians for 5 days. And if you don't have a widescreen monitor, remember that you can hide the sidebar right here, and that gives you just a little bit more room for that information. So I'm going to show the sidebar again. Show the sidebar again. So here I can have some other choices. Again, we have a daily view, which might have value to you. In this particular case, it's showing Thursday, Friday, etc. Now it's set to snap to month, so I'm going to uncheck that, and that will pull it up to the next day that I'm on. So play around with that and see what you think of that option. Let's look at some other options within the clinician button here. So it takes a minute, and I'm going to go to the pivot schedule. And that's kind of an odd looking thing, but basically it's showing from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I have a 1 hour and 15-minute appointment there, but only a 15-minute appointment here. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse moving. But I can interact with the appointment just by clicking on the desired time slot, and that might prove helpful from time to time. Let's look at the list view. Very similar to the list view for the week, except it's just for that particular day. And again, I can filter that and show just one individual, or Duncan and Donna both at the same time, Virginia and Elizabeth. So let's also go to, let me bring back all my columns here. I can bring back a pivot list, and the pivot list is, again, something that you can kind of play around with and see if you like it stacked that way as opposed to some of the other directions. So again, we have lots of different ways of viewing that information. Some of them aren't going to be as helpful as others. The schedule gives you the most ability, especially if you want to see, for example, 2 clinicians over 5 days. I'll click close. It doesn't automatically close because it may be waiting on another response from you. I'll click close, and again, my filtering might come in handy to be able to just show certain information by clicking those buttons there. So those are our many views that we have available in the scheduler. Hope you have fun playing around with them and see what works best for you.